You know what else I'm fucking excited about, ladies and gentlemen? Tyson and Teddy Talk, episode 16. Hello. It's a show. It's on YouTube. It's on podcast services around the globe. And it's where this guy Tyson over here, I think technically it'd be down there.
Wrong.
No? Oh, man. You'd be down there then. Yes. Okay. Fucking down there, we talk, and my name is Teddy. And yeah, we talk. That's it. That's what we do.
And that's
the show to talk about this week.
We do. We have to. I'm gonna have to say we have to squeeze it in just a little bit faster because I gotta play GMs with Stealth and Busy tonight.
Are we doing literally an hour? That's fine.
We can speed up a little bit and as they say, cut the fat.
Mm-hmm.
And save stuff for.
Are we trying
to
to keep this at a tight hour then?
Well, we'll see. We'll see where we're at.
I mean, I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
That's usually the goal, but I'm bad at it. And we just kind of let it go loose. So the last few weeks have just been like, one was like 2 hours, 20 minutes.
Willy-nilly, just tangent after tangent. But yeah.
I'm fine with a tight hour just sitting here relaxing, talking. I got some coffee. Like I was just showing people, like I was just showing Tyson here. I'll do it very quickly. You guys, if you're watching the video version, I got a dog by my foot. Nope, that's the wrong. Yeah, look at her. She's just snuggling there. She needs her nails cut, though, very badly. They're quite long. But we're chill.
I used to file my old dog's nails.
Oh, I thought you were about to say taxes, and I was like, I started doing that today.
He whenever he got long nails, instead of cutting them, we had like a file, and so I would just file them.
I have somebody else who's gonna do it for me, thankfully, because I don't want to do that and accidentally hurt her or something like that. So
I cut Franklin's nails and he hates it and he screams and I'm like, I don't care. Like
this has to be done, bud.
And but the thing is like they scream, like he's screaming while I'm cutting his nails, and then less than a minute after, he's just like, okay, yeah, we're good. He forgets. Yeah, it's just in that moment. You have to just not be attached. You have to not.
Oh my god.
Well, not so attached where you're like you hear them crying, you hear them meowing, and then you're like, oh my god, I'm hurting him. And it's like, no, you're not. He's just being annoying. It's like, and I've cut his nails like how many hundreds of times, so it's not like it's like I know what I'm doing. I know not to go like too deep. You just cut a little bit off at a time, but it's just that obviously he doesn't like it, and then you give him some treats after, and he's fine.
There you go. Somebody I know the other day in my chat was asking like, oh, how do you like associate cutting a dog's nails with something good? And somebody else was like, oh, you give them treats like while you are doing it, like you kind of like pet them. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I've never really thought about that. I saw a video of Alfredo Plays from Achievement Hunter, Alfredo and Jackie, their new little puppy who is adorable and I love it so much. They were giving her a bath, and they basically put like peanut butter on the side of the bathtub. So while they were bathing her, she was like licking peanut butter. I was like, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. But I don't know. I need to learn more about training dogs and stuff like that, because I don't know how you then go from, because like you don't do the peanut butter every time. You know what I mean? So it's supposed to get them to associate that with good thoughts, but like, do you just take it away one time? Then I feel like they'd be mad.
No, but that's the thing is like they don't have like their memories are different than ours. Like whenever I want Franklin to like not, if he's in like a cupboard or something, like he always gets in like the cupboards because he can open them. There's the cupboard where his treats are, and all I have to do is literally open that cupboard, and he runs out and he expects treats. I don't always give him treats. But it still always works.
Interesting. Huh.
So even if I don't give him treats the one time, he's not like, oh, I'm gonna remember this.
That's so interesting, because I would think that it like eventually they stop. You know, if you don't do the thing enough, then they stop associating it with that. But I guess not. You know, apparently not, because that's not how. I don't know. Like, fucking Ion. One day I tried, because for the longest time, like I got her and she was already trained and already knows a bunch of tricks, but like I didn't know all of the tricks that she knew, so I would just test things out. And at one point I did a thing and I was like, oh my God. Like I always wanted to teach her how to do the like she'd be laying down, you go bang. She'd like play dead for a second. And this was months, and this was like maybe a month ago, so it was a long time after I got her. And I did it, and she did it, and I was like, "What? You've known this the whole time?" It's wild because you would think if you don't practice it with them, they would slowly like forget, and I'm sure eventually she would. But and the more you
it's literally
do
like riding a
practice
bike
with them,
it's like they learn it once. It's like you learn how to ride a bike once. You can go decades and you can still ride a bike. It's just
true.
It's in your brain.
Interesting. And the more you do practice with them, they do get better at it, but I guess they're not going to completely and totally forget. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's interesting. Animals are interesting. She has a vet appointment on Monday, but it should be fine. It's a very minor little... She has basically been, over the last month, she's been, maybe month and a half, I don't know, like, randomly, like, regurgitating her food, which is not a fun word, but like, not even throwing up though. It's like she'll just eat, and then like basically like it didn't fully get digested, and like because it's just still the food sometimes, like it's just the little balls of dog food, and I'm like, what? So, and it's not a specific thing. Like I was told to try and like cut down on her food and feed her in smaller chunks, like more often instead. And I tried that, and that worked for the most part. But then the part that makes me think it might actually be something else was I gave her, she really likes ice cubes. Just as a treat, she'll go and just chew on an ice cube. And then I gave her one of those, and like 5 minutes later, she walks down the hallway and regurgitates food that she ate like hours ago. And I was like, what? But it still wasn't even throwing up. Like, it was still the same thing. I was very confused. So I was like, okay, well, we should probably take a look at this, because it could technically be something like bothering her in her esophagus or something like that. Maybe, you never know. So we're gonna go on Monday, which is not fun because it's always hella expensive, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Frank's fine, knock on wood.
Good.
He's
made several trips back since then though, right? Since last week. Maybe not several, maybe just one.
No, well, no, last week I was going to take him, but then like I waited a day, and then I was like, okay, well, if it keeps happening, because he was just like meowing and like he had a diarrhea, and I was like, what is that all about? I don't understand, because like his food hasn't changed.
It's not any sort of different, yeah.
No, it was just one day, and now he's fine and he's back to normal, and I'm like, but what could he have eaten that?
Yeah. Animals are weird, dude. That's one thing I keep
thinking
learned.
about. Like, I just keep thinking about, okay, well, sometimes like we eat something and it messes with us like for a day, and we're on the shitter.
And sometimes we'll eat the same thing.
Oh God, I can't get up. And it's just like you but then the next day you're like, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And
sometimes it's literally the exact same thing that you don't normally have a problem with.
Yeah.
And then
you eat too much, or you eat too little, or something. It's just, there's so many variables. And so with us, when that happens to us, we're just like, okay, well, obviously nothing's wrong with me. I'm just going to wait it out. And then the next day you're like, yeah, I'm fine. But with him, he's like meowing and it seems like something's wrong, but he can't process that. Like, no, this is just a bad day.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I didn't realize with animals is how alike they are with humans, in that of just that, like, no, they will have moments where they just kind of feel bad for a little bit and then they're fine. Like, I don't know why I didn't realize that that's how health works with animals as well. But I got, like, anytime any little thing happens with her, I'm always like, are you okay? Do we gotta take you to the vet? But I've slowly started to learn, like, no, not everything. Like, it'll be fine. Like the other day before stream, she literally just started coughing and like looking up at me like she was going to throw up. So I rushed her outside and she coughed a little bit, like spit a tiny bit, like not much, and then was fine. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess he's had a cough. He's had a sore throat. I don't know.
Franklin coughs frequently, but like it's because he, on his one bed, it's like a cardboard. It's like what you get from the vet to take them home in. He sleeps on it, and like he on pretty much anything, he likes to like rest his neck on the edge. So his throat's like just right on the edge of this thing. And then he'll be like, he can sleep like that. And then he'll like wake up and he'll start coughing. And I'm like looking and I'm just like, okay, you just did that to yourself. And I'm like, I don't have any sympathy.
Oh my God. That's great. Animals are fucking weird too. Oh my God.
You know what else is weird?
What?
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Is it?
I finished it. And I can tell you, I'm never going to watch that movie again.
No, I don't know who would.
But that's the weird thing. It's like, okay, but you have Marvel's Endgame, or not Marvel, just like Avengers Endgame. I think the runtime is around 3 hours.
It's around 3, I think.
Yeah. I watched that like
Definitely not
multiple
4.
times. I watched that multiple times a year.
I've seen Endgame quite a few times.
And it's just like, it's just as impactful, but for some reason it's easier to watch. It's
I can't wait. I think I'm gonna do it tonight.
It's tough.
And I wasn't gonna watch the movie in a 4-hour run.
Oh no, I didn't.
But now I'm thinking I might. Like,
No.
I planned originally on just
many
literally
breaks.
treating it like a TV show. Like, that's what I do with long movies. Like with Lord of the Rings, whenever I marathon those, I will just like let it go for a weekend and then just stop and come back and just stop and come back. You know, just like a TV show.
I like broke it up, and then like I watched the rest this morning, and I watched some last night or yesterday in like chunks. It's not a good. I don't like. I'm sorry to the people who think that it's a good movie. It's not a good movie.
Shit.
Is it better than the first Justice League? Yeah, but again, not saying much.
So here's my question, right? Because I don't think I originally planned on watching it and probably just laughing at it. Probably just thinking
there's a
it's
lot of
very
that.
funny.
There's a lot of times when you're just like,
I'll take it.
wow.
But the more people have talked about it, the more I'm like, am I actually gonna like it? I don't know. How does it compare to Batman v Superman?
You haven't seen Batman v Superman in such a long time either.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
tough.
fair.
I don't know, like it's good, or it's not good, but like there are good parts, but it's just like then there's parts that are just atrociously bad. It's not
really
like
there are some of those. Okay.
Yeah, it's not
That's
like
what I
a
figured.
medium. It's not even just like a medium. Just like this is boring, but it's a superhero movie.
Sounds like The Flash.
It's just like they I don't know, they flesh out characters, but again, it's like you're not going to do anything with these characters because this DCEU is sort of dead.
Well, yeah, but you know, you can't really. It's just part of the. You just got to be like, this is this movie. You know, there's no. It's a bummer that they're not gonna do anything more with that, but like, you just gotta accept it and be like, you know, I'm watching this as if they were going to. That's my plan.
I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about it. It's just like, it's there. It feels like it was a mistake. like $1 billion
It definitely
mistake.
wasn't though, because they are going to make a ton of money from it. People have generally, weirdly, I really didn't expect it, do have a good reception to it. Like, it is getting good reviews and people think it's a good movie. I did not expect that, but it's a thing.
But then I don't like. I just I don't know. Like, the action is all right. The CG
is it still
in the
weird
DC
ass
is,
CG?
it's just weird.
Yeah, it's fucking
Especially with
weird,
Wonder
isn't it?
Woman. It's just like, why? I don't understand these weird, like, it's like she goes into super speed in slow motion and then she like, I don't know. It's just like, it's a weird effect how they make her look powerful. And I'm like, I don't understand it.
And it's purposeful, but it's weird.
And then there's probably like 10 whole minutes. Like, I wonder if you lined up all of the slow motion, like, shots. There's probably like 10 minutes of slow motion.
I saw somebody say, oh man, the reason why Zack Snyder's Justice League is so long is because half of it's in slow-mo. I was like, what?
And it's
Why?
like, there are times when I'm like, okay, I can see the intention with the slow motion. But then that scene, that like shot, goes on for 20 seconds too long. it's like you're just ready for the next shot, but it's just like, no,
like,
we're gonna stay here slow motion for another 20 seconds.
You know what this reminds me of? That reminds me of Titans. The DC used to be DC Universe. I think now it's on HBO Max.
Like
I don't know where it is.
That TV show.
Yeah, the TV show Titans, which honestly, the first season was genuinely pretty good. Other than what they did was very like. They would just do a thing to be like, hey man, this is a gritty show. Robin says fuck. Yeah. We got this blood and broken bones, and they would do like a shot or like a shocking moment of like gore or something, and then they'd stay on it, be like, look at this. Do you see this? And I'm like, yeah. It's fine. Move on.
This isn't storytelling. For like
30 seconds.
This doesn't have any other like. There's it doesn't add anything to the scene, to the story, to anything. And it's the same honestly, with the slow motion.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff with the Flash is just like, okay, I get it. He's really fast. Can we get over it? Can we like? Like this is why I love I love Quicksilver, because like they showed him. They showed everything else in slow motion, and then like him doing stuff, and that was funny. Or they just showed him go there and back, and he was fast. Not like this weird thing where he's like, and I don't know if this is intentional with Ezra Miller, but he runs really weird.
Probably.
Like he's and they do it in slow motion then. It's not a spoiler, but he's like it's just like so he's like flailing his arms, and I'm like,
watch the video version.
It's so weird, and maybe it's because of the CW show, and like just like. But even with
that's pretty standard. Like Grant does just like.
But he like runs normally.
Yeah.
So like Ezra Miller is just like, and I'm like, what are you doing? I don't.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Holy shit! I will say, I really wish I had seen this before today's episode, because I watched other DC things, which I will talk about very briefly. But I watched Superman and Lois. I watched the 4 episodes that are out for that, and I did actually watch the beginning of The Flash for this season, the first episode. What a fucking goddamn train wreck! But I wish I had seen this too, so that I could compare the weirdness between all of them. Be great.
Well, it's tough because like I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier first, and then I watched Justice League, and it's like the action, the character development in that little, what was that, 40 minutes of an episode is just so much better than the whole fucking movie of Justice League.
4 hours. 4 hours, dog.
And I don't know if it's just because it was rushed. Like it's like, oh, we have Batman v Superman, and then we have the team up movie.
Oh no! If there is anything that Zack Snyder's Justice League is not, it's rushed, because they tried to make he had 2 shots at this, and I know clearly shit happened. He didn't finish out the first one, but like this one, they said here, take as much time as you need, take as much fucking budget as you need, just make your movie. That's what fans want.
Rushed. It rushed in the way that,
and here it
like,
is.
If you're just drawing parallels to Avengers, it's like they had each their individual movie.
Yeah.
We got introduced to these characters, then we finally get to see them team up.
Part of it.
It's like, and you already have a connection to them. In this movie, it's a little bit weird now because we saw Aquaman, but then Aquaman's set after Justice League, and then we get to see him again. I don't know.
And I guess technically, canonically, it's probably set after Whedon's Justice League, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Which is weird. So if they ever do want to continue, like, think about this. If they do want to continue from Zack Snyder's Justice League, which they won't, but in a hypothetical world, they would do, then it's like, the Aquaman movie's not canon. Because that was based off of Whedon. Yeah,
that's next year.
It would be so weird if they ever did. Oh, it's so weird.
But like you have this movie, and it's like you barely even kind of care about the relationship between Batman and Superman, from Batman v Superman.
Well, it was adversarial. Like
and then at the end of, like, spoilers for Batman v Superman, he dies, and so it's just like, okay, well, I don't know. Okay, I guess I care about Batman. But then you get introduced to 3 characters 3 brand new characters, and you're supposed to like somehow be like, hey, we're forming a team. It's like maybe Zack Snyder's vision wasn't rushed, but the story is rushed. Whereas like Nick Fury over decades was like, I'm gonna set up a team. Batman's like, hey, we got like 24 hours. Let me find all the freaks.
Get on this shit.
Let me find all the freaks on the planet and start a team.
Okay.
And yeah.
So I will say I haven't been rewatching the MCU, but I've been watching this series that this guy does where he's going through the MCU with his girlfriend for the first time and she hasn't seen it. It's great. They just got to Captain America and the next movie is Avengers, and like seeing her first reactions, and at the end, it's such a weird thing that I totally forgot. At the end of Captain America, the end credits is like a fucking trailer for the Avengers. It's literally like a 30-second trailer. It's so weird. But she saw that and started being like, oh, they're all coming together. Oh my God, that's so cool. Cause it is. Like, it's a cool thing.
That was a huge moment. Yeah. Like, it was so, and then you saw them like fight against each other for like a scene or two. It was just so
classic.
Great.
So remember when Batman v Superman came out, and then the same year, a few months later, Civil War came out. And Batman v Superman was doing the same thing as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War.
And the fucking, like, in Batman v Superman, they were introducing, the only one that we really knew was Superman in that universe because of Man of Steel. So they were supposed to be introducing Batman and Wonder Woman. And I guess some other, and then they hinted at Flash and Aquaman
and Lex
and
Luthor, because Lex wasn't in
Lex
Man
was
of
there.
Steel.
Nope. Yep. Lex was introduced there. And it's like, at least when it comes to heroes, you have at least 2 new ones in Batman v Superman. Whereas in Civil War, you had fucking Spider-Man and Black Panther. You were introducing 2 new heroes there as well in an even bigger ensemble thing. And they still managed to do it better.
They weren't the main focus though. That's what that's one thing. So it's like they weren't the stars.
And that's how you have to do it.
Yeah. You have to like you introduce them. It's the same. Look at like Scarlet Witch. She's this in behind the scenes. She's sort of like important, but she gets more important as time goes on. And it's not just like, hey, here are the most important people in our whole universe, and now we're just introducing each other. Both at the same time, and you're just like, okay, I'm supposed to care about these people, and it's very tough to care about these people.
Especially Wonder Woman, where they barely like really touch that at all in Batman v Superman. Then she just shows up at the end.
She's just cool. Like, okay. Oh, she's got a cool song, and nobody can shut up. Nobody can shut up about that song and the stupid cops. And I'm like, okay, I get it. It's just, and then the villain, like. I don't know how much was in Justice League, so I'm not gonna like talk about like the first one. So I'm not really gonna talk too much about it.
Have you
but
seen
the
like, first Justice League?
A long time ago when it first came out.
Okay.
But I don't remember.
I've seen a lot of people surprisingly being like, "Oh, I'm watching this," and I haven't seen the original Justice League. I was like, "Oh,
probably the better thing
cool.
to do."
Yeah, I was like, "Good for you guys."
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, it's so tough to connect with these new characters, and like they did a good job with Steppenwolf, at least in this one. I can't remember how he was.
They did
in the
not
last one.
in the first one.
So then they did a good job. I saw a lot of people really like drawing parallels to Thanos, and I'm like, okay, no, like let's not go that far. For one, Thanos in my mind, perfect villain, because like he's super evil, but you can also see his side. You can also, and he's not like. He's very complicated.
He's not insane.
Yeah, he's not just evil because he's like, hey, I hate everybody. He's not like the Joker evil where it's like, oh, I just want to watch the world burn. Like, okay.
Difference. Yeah.
But yeah, they did a fairly good job on him. But I don't know. It's tough to.
From what I heard, Steppenwolf and Cyborg were the 2 that improved a lot.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
Flash.
Yeah. They really fleshed out those characters, but then it's like, okay, but are you gonna do anything with Cyborg and Flash? I think there's a Flash movie.
Yeah, there is, and the whole theory behind that for the longest time is that it is gonna be Flashpoint, and that's how they're gonna reset the universe. But they're not gonna fucking do that because they have the weird fucking Robert Pattinson Batman movie that is going to be its own thing outside of the universe.
There is a multiverse.
Yeah.
Just have Ben Affleck die, and then have the other Batman come in, and there you go. And now he can't come back.
Flashpoint is literally a perfect opportunity for them to try again, but like it's too late. Like if they do that, I will be shocked. They don't have a Kevin Feige to try it again, to do it right. They wouldn't do it right if they were to try it again. But they do literally have a story beat that is set up for them to be like, this is a perfect way to wipe your slate clean and try again. But they're not going to.
Also, and I think this is just like my personal taste, but like I just don't like the super dark, super edgy comic book heroes right out the gate. Mm-hmm. I don't mind it over time, and that's why I don't like this Superman, because it's like he's just so depressed so fast. We never really get to see him be the poster boy Superman like before, or like we're used to. We just get to see him like tortured and sad, and then he kills Zod, and then everybody hates him, and he's just so tortured, and it's just like, oh my god, it's just too angsty. It's too much.
The dark and gritty is okay and good as a tone in the right places.
Yes.
It's not like with the right characters. Like Superman's not necessarily the one to do that with, and even if you did, you'd have to do it well. And I don't think they really necessarily did it super well. Like it's a lot of like dark and gritty to like angsty, like you're saying, is a very, I mean, it's not really a very thin line, but they cross over it all the time. Yeah. And that's when it's like, no, you know, it's not okay. But like, it's harder to nail. But when you do nail it, it's fucking cool and good. But like, you can't do that with every character, and you have to be really careful about how you do it.
Yeah, like every character seems like depressed, and then you have the Flash.
Yep.
And the Flash is like, but then we never really get an introduction to him. He's just there, and then he's supposed to be the comic relief. And then there's other comic relief lines in the movie coming from other characters. And I'm just like, it feels so weird. It doesn't feel right coming from you.
Yep. And I mean, that's how it was in Whedon's Justice League. I honestly would have thought that those comic relief lines would have been gone from this version. So I'll have to see what those are.
It's just additive. They're just like, let's just put as much stuff as we can. And there's a lot of cheesy lines, but that's par for the course, I guess, in a superhero movie.
Yeah. Weird. Dude, okay. Let me tell you, though. If you want a bright poster boy Superman, let me tell you about Tyler don't know how to say his last name from Superman and Lois. I will say that.
Plays Sephiroth in Final Fantasy Remake.
Really?
Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yeah, he's Sephiroth.
Well, that's really cool.
Isn't it like Hochimil? Hochimil?
It starts with an H.
Hochim? Tyler Hoechlin.
I thought it was like... yeah, it's Hoechlin. Hoechlin, maybe?
Hoechlin, yeah.
But yeah, he fucking rules. Like, and I don't know. I am worried. And I'm not even worried. I know that this is what's going to happen. It is going to get worse. For Superman and Lois right now will get worse. I think maybe in a dream world, it gets better and better until the season 1 finale. And then after that, it's done. It's done. You might have a good season 2, but like that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting this to go through the goddamn same like fucking formula that Arrow went through, that fucking Flash went through, that even Supergirl went through, but went through faster that time. Like, but I will say, so far there's only 4 episodes out for season 1. There's supposed to be, I think, only a total of 16. I think it's supposed to be a smaller season than normal. My dog is leaving. Okay, let's see how it is. But yeah, I think it's only supposed to be 16. But right now, episodes 1 through 4 are fucking awesome. They're really good. And like watching the season or episode 1 of the newest season of The Flash, and I like while I was watching Superman and Lois, I kept being like, am I crazy, or did they put a lot more budget into the CGI here than even in The Flash? And after watching episode 1 of The Flash of the new season, yup, it's not good over there. I think they literally took Flash's budget, It's like, here you go. You got Superman. You need a little
They probably
bit more.
saw, they probably like saw some numbers, and then they're like, okay, well, if this is kind of on its way out,
to the new thing.
Yeah, give it to the new thing that people are excited about.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like the CW has a formula that has worked in Smallville. So try and like look back at that and see what worked and what didn't work, and just sort of pick and choose some stuff and put it in, because like almost just make it like think of it as a Smallville sequel, because that's literally at the end of Smallville. Spoilers for a 10-year but like that's kind of how Smallville ends. So just kind of, I don't know. I loved Smallville.
Well, I mean, they see there is they visit the Smallville Superman in Crisis for like, there's a scene. It's very small.
Isn't like Tom Welling in?
Yep. Yeah. He's there for like a second. But I never watched Smallville, so I can't fully comment. I know like the basics of kind of what happens with the story, but I was thinking about doing that at some point. But the cool thing about this is it's very Spider-Man PS4, of how, you know, Spider-Man's when it starts, he's like 8 years into it or something like that.
Yeah.
This is similar, but even more. Like, he's literally like, I don't know, 40 something. Like, he's an old Superman, maybe late 30s or something. He has 2 teenage boys, and him and Lois are married.
He has sons? What, he has kids?
2 teenage kids.
I thought that's not canonically possible.
I don't know. Well, it happens.
That's the whole point of with Brandon Routh's Superman. Was it Superman Returns?
I think he's had kids before in the comics.
How?
Hey man, he holds back. He controls
no, but I'm
himself.
just think about the Kryptonian sperm.
Hey man,
wouldn't that just like destroy?
We don't know. But I will say that is one of the big storylines. Is they're trying, like, one of the kids, spoilers, has like powers a little bit, so they're like trying to figure that out.
Because I remember in Smallville there was a whole episode about Clark and Lana were gonna have sex, but he like couldn't because he would not be able to like you wouldn't. So
he can control himself, man.
No, but that's the whole. That's weird.
I will say one of the cool things about that's one thing that I like is how he's literally an older Superman, and they are doing like, they make references of like, oh, we've dealt with this shit before, but it's very clear like you don't need to fucking know what happened there. Like, this is just him set up here as an older, more experienced dude, and it is very clear. Like, there's a fight scene in episode 3 where he fights a dude that's clearly powered of some kind, and he loses for like a split second. But like, it's because he was holding back. Superman is always that's one thing about Superman's like personality and like the character like traits of him as a hero is he's a fucking god and like overpowered as hell. But like, because of his personality and his morals, he's always holding back because he doesn't want to kill anybody. So like, once he then realized, it was like, oh fuck, okay, well then you're done. And it was a dope ass moment because like, he lost for like a second, and you hear Lois like yell Superman. That's when he wakes up, and like it's very cheesy CW of.
Fuck.
See, this is what I was saying of the Flash, right? The Flash constantly has the like, with the power of friendship, you gotta run faster, Barry, and then he does it, and it's dope. But it was dope for the first 2 seasons. Then after that, I'm like, oh, you're doing it again? Doing it? Oh, you still doing it?
Just believe in yourself.
And they kept doing it. And then like, but that's the thing with this, I really genuinely do like that it is his family motivating him. It's very cool. But like, it will get old, and I know that it will get old. So after 2 seasons of that, I'm gonna be like, oh, you're still doing it, guys. But like, I like it right now. It's very cool. And I will say too, very minor thing, but like, the cinematography is weirdly good. Like, it can comparison to most CW shows. Like, it's lit in a very specific way and shot in a different way than like Flash for sure. Like, I don't know. It seems like it's definitely not going from CW Flash or Arrow production to like fucking HBO, but it is seemingly a step up. And I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't really expect that. So I'm enjoying it. It probably will go downhill, but I bet the first season's gonna be pretty damn good. And then after that, who knows?
See, I've always had a problem with Superman because he's invincible and he can't die. And so that's why
I think they're
Smallville
balancing
worked.
this very well. That's one thing that I think is like the powers, and that can get boring because he's like, if you focus solely on the action of Superman, like pitting somebody against him who's going to be a real threat, especially now where it is a very experienced Superman, you're not going to care too much. Like, there is action in each episode, but it's not like the main point. Like, it is very much a character-centric, like family-centric kind of deal, and that is still happening, and he is still Superman, but it's not the main focus, which I like.
Yeah. I think maybe that's the same. That's kind of the same with Smallville. Like they sort of focus on his powers, but again, he didn't have all of his powers because he was in high school, even though he was like 30.
That's how they got around it.
When they shot the show. So he's like a 30-year-old playing that he's in high school.
In oh, dude, I will say there was one moment while I was watching the show where they were in high school, and like the two teenage kids are in high school, and they like make friends with this girl, and I look up all three of their ages, and they were like 20, 21, 22, and I was like, that girl is supposed to be 15. No way. No.
Yeah, that's just weird. But I think the best part about Smallville to me was Lex and Clark's relationship. Yeah. Because it's like this weird thing, because like Lex is the antagonist, but like they're still best friends for the majority of the whole run of the show. Yeah. And it's just like this weird, you see the decay of their friendship turn into like the sort of the hate of like Lex and Superman, but he's not really Superman. I don't know.
Superman shows, movies, comics, like games, anything like that cannot be focused on the powers. It cannot be focused on the action. It genuinely has to be a cool story on like the dynamics of literally what it means to be Superman and shit like that. Like, that's what it has to be, because you can't do that. Like, having it be focused on the action I don't know how you could really make that work.
Yeah.
To be fair, I haven't seen a lot of the older Superman movies, and I really want to, but I haven't seen some of those.
Those ones are really good. Christopher Reeve is a great Superman.
Yeah, but I'm really liking it. It is very cool so far, and it is very much like the story is like how he is trying to still be a normal human while also dealing with being Superman, and it's very much Arrow of like, I gotta live a normal life, but I still got these responsibilities. The city needs me. You know what I mean? But it's less angsty, first of all. And it's also a lot more meaningful, because it's literally like at one point, Lois's dad, who's like a general, is like, he's the most important man in the world. Like, period. And it's like, yeah, you're not wrong. So it's like, there's a lot more weight behind that personally than a guy with a bow and arrow. But I like it so far. And Flash
how's
still
Lois?
Goddamn right.
Because I still don't like
awesome.
Amy Adams as Lois.
Yeah. So the cool thing, and I was gonna bring this up when I was talking about what the show is about, and that it is more character focused. It's called Superman and Lois. That's the name of the show. So it's very much like she is a main character as well. And her whole thing, which I'm sure a lot of Superman fans are going to be like, oh, stop with the fucking journalism. Let's get to punching people. You know what I mean? A lot of comic book people are going to be like, oh, see
that's
this
what people
bullshit.
That's what people said about Falcon Winter Soldier, like the first episode too.
Oh, God. Yeah,
they're like, oh, it's not enough action. 6 out of 10.
Get out of here.
Just cancel your Disney Plus subscription. You don't deserve this show.
Delete your Twitter. Block yourself. But Lois is very good. I will say Lois, like, CW has a problem with, like, Iris sometimes can be quite annoying, and they put her in spots of not even annoying, just, like, unrealistic, like, I can handle myself. When, like, there's a villain with superpowers after you, and the Flash is just, like, that doesn't actually make sense. And, like, Felicity was very much the same way, and they just made Felicity like ridiculously overpowered. Like, they have a problem with like not being able to write for like the companion, I guess the partner to the like main superhero in Flash and Arrow specifically. But Lois is fucking awesome, and Lois is killing, and the actress for Lois is doing a very good job with like, I don't know, she doesn't Iris and Felicity both come off very like teenage in a way, and I'm sure that's purposeful because it's CW. But Lois is very much just like, no, she's a responsible like fucking grown ass woman. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what the Smallville Lois was as well. It's like she was the didn't give a shit kind of personality, whereas like you had Lana Lang, who is very like nice and proper and kind of, and then like Lois would always come in and like give Clark shit and stuff like that. And it's like I liked, and that was the same with the Lois in the Christopher Reeve movies. Is she just didn't give people like an inch. She was always like in their face, but like not annoyingly. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
not annoyingly and not even really necessarily mean, right?
Yeah.
Like she is still doing a very good job of like being kind, but like still not taking anyone's shit. I don't know. I think she's doing a very good job. Like even in that fight scene in episode 3 where I was talking about where she's like, Superman, and he fucking gets up, it's not like an annoying, Superman, help me. It's not like that. Like, it's literally just like, yo, get the fuck over here, dog. And like, it's very good. I think she's doing a very good job. I like her. I will say maybe a little partial because she did an interview with Greg Miller on Kind of Funny at one point, and it was a fun little podcast, and it was cool.
I remember her from Grimm, the TV show.
Oh,
Grimm.
yeah. Yeah, that was a big
She's
thing
pretty good in
they
that
talked
too.
about that show.
No.
But I'm liking it. It's cool. Flash, the main thing that I will say about it still being a goddamn train wreck, I forgot the end of last season was not a season finale. It was a, like, here's kind of a finale with kind of a fight, and then the end did not conclude anything. The end was, like, to be continued at the end of a season, which they've never done. I was like, what the fuck? And
that used to be the whole, like, that's what TV was back in the day.
That's true. CW is very, like, Arrow and Flash and all that. They have a season story, though. Like, usually is like, this is the story for the season. Sometimes they'll even do, like, half-season stories and whatnot. But they're usually, the finale wraps it all up, and then we move on, do something new the next time. But, like, it was just to be continued. And then the premiere started, and it was that again of like, oh, here's what happened, and we're going. And I was like, oh, shit, okay, well. It's weird. Iris is stuck in this fucking mirror dimension. It's really weird. They made a clone of her, but then it wasn't really a clone, and the clone had feelings.
Man, it sounds so
I don't know how they're
bad.
gonna.
They're just throwing their money away. They should just double down, nuke. Just like drop a nuclear bomb on all of the CW
I don't know how they're gonna
DC shows.
Deal with Ralph. The actor for Ralph got like fired from the show, who was a main character, got fired from the. He's a new guy who came in the last 2 seasons or whatever. I actually liked him. Not a bad character. He's cool. But then the actor found, like, people found some tweets, literally like some sexist jokes or something like that from like years ago, and they fired him. And they wrote him off the show. I don't know what they did with that, but he was a main like member of the team now, so who knows how they're probably gonna be like, oh, he had to move.
WB just like double down with some money and just make like WB exclusive whatever. Isn't there like a streaming service?
I mean, that would be HBO Max now. Before it was DC Universe, they folded that all into HBO
So then
Max.
put that on HBO Max and just copy Disney. Like, can you not see Disney and Marvel is doing it again? And they are just taking all of the steam.
They just don't get good enough writers, man.
Yeah.
Because like Titans,
get some of the comics, just turn the comics into turn the comics into shows. Fuck it.
But like Titans as a show had such a good like formula for how you could do that and it'd be great. And they still did not. I mean, season 1 was fine.
That was the closest.
Season 2 was ugh.
Yeah, that was the closest I've liked of like a DC TV show. Or, like,
the production was a lot better of that than any of the others, I will say.
And it was gritty. Like the trailer was terrible.
Yeah.
Because the trailer made it look a lot more edgy than it was.
Yeah.
At least the first season. But it's like, that's how they took a character like Robin. And you're like, oh man, Robin's such a poster boy. But then they're like, no, he's like, he is like jaded. And he kind of hates Batman. And over the first season,
as somebody
it was great.
As somebody who, some of my favorite like superheroes I used to say was like Nightwing was like my favorite superhero. Like I love Dick Grayson as a character. Like I thought going through that whole thing was really cool. There's an episode, I think it's the finale of season 1, where it's basically like a nightmare or whatever the fuck. It's in like this alternate universe where Batman just says, nah, fuck all y'all, and they have to like go and take out Batman. And it's so fucking cool. Like that episode alone is awesome. And then they go back to the regular shit, and I'm like, oh, well, damn. But like the whole idea of Dick Grayson, like realizing, nah, like Bruce Wayne kind of fucked me up mentally as a kid. Like, it's cool, and they could have done better with that. And I mean, if they do a season 3, I'll still watch it. And even season 2, I liked for the most part, but the finale just fucking I
don't remember.
Dove.
I think I binged it, and
I will say the finale for season 2 that I'm watching it right now, there's a fight scene with him and Deathstroke, where he comes out as Nightwing for the first time and has the fucking suit and the Eskrim sticks. Looks fucking awesome. Like visually, his suit in this, I was like, oh, dude, come on. It's like my favorite live action.
That's the thing is like, instead of putting more money in making a longer 22 episode season on the CW, put that money, make 12 episodes, and put that money back into the production. And it has more of an impact than like Barry's suit that's just fucking cloth. It's just like I could buy at the fucking corner store. Yeah,
I will say I was not a huge fan of Superman's suit in the show in the previous like Crisis and Supergirl and stuff when he showed up. It starts very fucking basic, and it is still very fucking basic. Like it's not super detailed or anything, but like Superman and Lois in this show, they do a really good job of shooting it where it looks pretty fucking cool. Like I do like the suit now. It grew on me. And it does have more details than before. But yeah, no, Nightwing suit, I'm watching the fight scene right now. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, and he was a good night. Oh, speaking of Nightwing, I was gonna mention this because I saw it on Twitter yesterday. That you'll be disappointed because your little what is it? Video game fantasy.
I'm scared.
What is that thing called? What is
the Fantasy League?
Yeah. You're taking a loss on Gotham Knights.
Well, did I pick up Gotham Knights? Oh god. Yeah. Do I have
I remember because I remember you told me, and then
well, I wanted to, but I'm not sure if I actually got it. Oh shit.
I think you did.
Oh damn.
And then that's a big goose egg.
I don't think anyone counterpicked me though. I could drop it and pick something else up. I think. Oh yeah. I'll have to look into that.
Somebody should counterpick you right now.
I don't think they can.
I'm talking to the future, or I guess the past. I guess. Yeah, the past. Oops. Talking to the past. Yeah. Somebody counterpick Gotham Knights.
Yeah, Gotham Knights got delayed until next year. Also.
And that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was honestly one of the games that I was looking forward to most. Like, if people said, there was a while where most anticipated games was like trending on Twitter where people would like retweet it with 4 pictures. And I almost did that. And the 2 that come to my mind is Kena, Bridge of Spirits, and Gotham Knights. Those were the ones I was looking forward to for this year.
Was Gotham Knights from Rocksteady?
No, Gotham Knights is WB
Montreal.
I think Montreal? Yeah.
Yeah, the ones who did Origins.
Yeah.
Arkham Origins.
Yeah. Yeah, Rocksteady's doing the Suicide Squad game.
That's right.
No, I do not have Gotham Knights.
Oh.
Let me see if someone else does.
And then you should counterpick.
Someone else counterpick. Throw has it.
Oh.
Oh no, I'm looking at it right now. Throw 7 has it. JJ counterpicked him, and it literally has will not release on it, 0 points. Oof. But I will say, Throw is leading
JJ
right
playing
now.
the long game.
I think I have a good list. I think I have a very good list. I have Hitman 3, Deathloop, Kena Bridge of Spirits. This next one is the one that I'm worried about. Outriders. Oof. Riders Republic, Season, Open Roads, Forza
was
Motorsport, Little Devil Inside, and Hood Outlaws and Legends. I think that's a good.
I don't know the last
other
like
than
five. Outriders will get a good.
I think Outriders will get a solid 70. I was gonna say 71, but
it'll get like an 85.
Actually 71.
It'll get like an 85.
Did you play the beta or the demo?
For like I got into like the first power, and then I was like, it's not for me. It doesn't feel as much as, I don't know, especially getting in and out of cover. Like I wanted that like instantaneous, but like I had to click my button. I had to click my button like a couple times to get out of cover, and I'm like, that's a hard pass unless they patch that.
That very clearly is like trying to do. It needs to feel very good. Mechanically, it needs to feel great. It needs to just be fun to play, because just like Destiny 1, and even worse, in my opinion, the story is fucking nonsense. It's fucking nonsense. And it's supposed to be a story, single player, not fully single player, but it's supposed to be a
live action game. Yeah, it's not, or not.
No.
Yeah, it's not a live service game.
Yeah, they said that there is like an end game at the end, but there's still an end to that. So like, the fact that it is a story-based game, the story is absolutely fucking asinine, and it doesn't feel that great. It's not optimized very well for computers either. Like it didn't, like whenever you ran through the hub, it fucking, that's gonna, maybe 72, maybe.
There really is, because it did go on, it's on Xbox Game Pass. Do you think that's because of like the numbers? I wonder why that happened.
Okay, so I thought it was funny when that was announced. Everyone was like, "Oh, Outriders coming to Game Pass! What a big win for Game Pass! That's awesome!" I was like, "Ooh, guys, no, y'all are reading that wrong. Weird. That's a bad sign for that game. That's what that is. That says we are not super confident in launching this at $60. Please play it."
Yeah,
personally, that's what I think that says.
Especially on when it's not a first party studio. Like obviously first party studios are all going to be on Game Pass, but then you have this as a day one. Has that ever happened before?
Yeah, like I don't think with any giant games, like any big.
I mean like AAA. This is the first like AAA that's come to console Game Pass, at least.
Not that I can think of. Yeah,
you could think of maybe Destiny 2 Beyond Light, sort of.
Yeah, that's probably closest.
But then again, it was free to play everywhere, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Game Pass had all of the expansions. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I will say, I want to pull this up real quick. Actually, I should pull both of these up. So PlayStation is doing like a play-at-home thing where for like certain dates, certain games are free. And there's a lot of really good ones. And Xbox Game Pass for like the next month is also really fucking good and released all the like Bethesda shit.
Yep. I re-upped my Xbox Game Pass.
Hell yeah.
Because I haven't been playing anything on it.
They did like 20 Bethesda games.
So there's all the Bethesda games, which I own a lot of them already, which is okay.
Yeah.
But then they have Nier Automata, and so it's like, I want to play through that again. They have the EA stuff, but I've seen Jace in Discord talking about how hard it is to install, or like not install, but just like access those games. You
basically have to do it through EA Play. It's not just on Game Pass. You have to like sign in over there. It's a whole thing. But yeah, I was gonna say I do have this up now. The Game Pass PC and console and whatnot updates recently, fucking great. Like Outriders, Undertale, Yakuza. I don't know what this one is. Narita Boy. Empire of Sin, Star Wars Squadrons, Octopath Traveler, Genesis Noir, Nier Automata, fucking. It has a subtitle. Oh, it's Become as Gods edition. That's what it is.
I think it's just like the Game of the Year edition.
Yeah. And then game I've been wanting to play, doesn't have great reviews, but I've still been wanting to play it. Torchlight 3. That's also there. It came to console Game Pass a while back, and I was like, oh, damn.
Ooh, but, I actually downloaded
PC.
A couple Bethesda games. I downloaded The Evil Within, because I have never played, I think I maybe played it, but like it was when it was letterboxed on console, way back when it first came out. Damn. The whole game is letterboxed, and it's just like, what the fuck is this? And it was like the vision of the director to like have it all. It was so weird.
Yeah.
So I want to play that, and then Prey. I platinumed it on console. This is before I had a PC, but I want to see how that game is on PC. 'Cause I loved Prey. Prey was so cool, where you could like turn into certain things.
Yeah.
You can like morph into like a coffee cup on a table, and then like if there's a monster coming, it was just so cool. It's sort of like horror, but not really. It's on a space station, and you have powers. It's like Dishonored, but in space.
Yeah. Yeah. It got decent reviews at launch and a little bit after. Other than at launch, there were a lot of fucking technical issues, but
Yeah.
other than that, it's like a really good game from what
I think it came out at a weird time too, and so I don't think a lot of people were really looking at it. But it's a really, really good game.
It had like some game-breaking bugs on PC where like it would eat saves.
Yeah, I remember that because I was on console at the time, and I was like, "Oh, well, it's fine for me."
Yeah, like
back in my console, my good old console days.
Which was not that long ago, all things considered.
Well, it was like
Prey didn't come out super long ago. Maybe
it was
5
before
years.
Destiny 2, because that's when I built my computer. So 3 years ago.
Damn. I found the play at home games as well. This article is a fucking nightmare to go through though. But some of them, Abzu, which is actually really good. I played through Abzu. I like Abzu. The Witness, Enter the Gungeon, Subnautica, and then there's some cool. Like this is one of those things where I really should be, like claiming these, even though I don't have PS5
That's what I do
or VR.
Every
or
Thursday.
anything. I really should.
Like right now, every Thursday I open my Epic Games launcher.
Oh fuck.
And just download those and just like accept those games. And I'm like, am I ever gonna play this? Probably not. But you know what? If somebody's giving you free shit, you're not gonna just be like, no, thank you.
Twitch
like, I'll take it.
A while. For a while on the Twitch client, they were giving away free games.
Oh yeah.
And I logged in and did that all the time. I don't even think they do that, or I don't even think that.
Well,
client
you have to
even
open it from their
fucking
stupid
exists anymore.
launcher. It's very weird.
It's weird because they don't give a shit anymore either. It's not like they're supporting that. But
Epic Games,
I played
man.
like super hot through that. I got super hot for free and did that.
Because like Subnautica, Abzu, like I've gotten crazy games that are on my Epic Games library.
I didn't even
I've gotten
know they were
all
doing
of the. They do it every week. There's a new.
Wait, just in general every week? I thought that was because I know for a while during like Christmas they did like a thing every week, but I thought in general
that was every day.
Like,
that was every day.
oh, fuck.
They did like 12 days of gaming or something like that, and so they did a new game every day.
That's wild.
Every Thursday. There's a new free game. Sometimes two if they're like two indies on the Epic Game Store.
Huh.
I've gotten the whole Arkham series on PC. I've gotten the Lego Batman on PC. Wow. I have gotten like Subnautica.
We gotta talk about this more.
Abzu. There are some other ones. I got that. What's that sort of Dark Soulsy game with guns? Remnant.
Oh, Remnant from the Ashes. That's a game that I've heard really good things about and have honestly wanted to try multiple times.
They gave that away for free.
Oh man, shit.
Like if I open this, well, I have to open it.
Jealous.
There's just so many games. I got Jurassic World, where you like make your own Jurassic Park game.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. I will say one thing I've been thinking about getting for a long time, and I think I probably am just gonna buy today. I don't know. I probably shouldn't. I have a vet appointment on Monday. I probably shouldn't. But fucking one game whenever I do crave to just shoot people, you know, because every now and then I just gotta shoot some mans, you know what I mean? And especially when I crave like anything sort of competitive, my go-to nowadays is Rogue Company. It used to be Halo 5, but now I don't have an Xbox, so I just go to Rogue Company because I really like that game. It's a third-person arena thing. It's very fitting for me. And whenever I play it, I don't play it enough to like get currency to unlock all the characters. Like I do, but it's very slow. So, like, I've been thinking of just getting the Ultimate Edition, which is, like, all the characters and all the ones coming for the next year. So, just fucking getting that so I have it so that whenever I do go back to it, I can play. Because they've released 2 new characters since I've played. One of them has a fucking bow and arrow. Hell yeah. I'm all about the
bow and arrow's hot. You could play, what's his name? Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. I will say, almost thought about doing that, too, and said, you know what? Never mind.
No, don't.
I thought about it. But I've said this on stream a few times this last week, but like I don't realize how much I genuinely just like superheroes as a thing. Like I just enjoy superheroes. And I don't realize that a lot, but like even if Avengers is just even the story, if the gameplay is just meh and not even that great, like I'd probably still have a good time because I just like
just watch a Let's Play on YouTube. But if it's not fun to play,
but if it's even decent to play, I'd still like have fun. I would still.
There's a lot of frustrating things throughout the story. Like the story's weird.
See, part of me is like, because y'all have had so much time.
The story's good. No, but like, well, I don't know. This isn't really a spoiler, but like it's very linear. So it's like you don't get to choose heroes per mission.
That's fine. That's okay. I kind of expect
it is, that. but at the same time, you're like, oh, cool. I'm finally getting used to this character. And then they're like, here's a new one. I'm like, fuck, man. I don't know what I'm doing again. And it's just like, it's not a really fun. It doesn't flow well.
Yeah.
The story is good, but the way
I probably will get it at some point. Like it's on sale for $30 now instead of $60. I'll probably get it and just play through the story.
It's still too much money for that game.
I know.
And I paid full price.
Yeah. I wish it would go on sale. If it ever went on sale for 20 or less, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'd grab that.
Just wait until
30. I'm still like, oh. Yeah, it probably will be at some point.
Oh wait, no, they have a deal with Sony because of Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
Still isn't out.
Dude, I was talking about this on stream last night, and somebody in chat was like, oh, I was talking about maybe getting it on the Steam sale, and somebody was like, oh, you gotta get it on PlayStation for that exclusive Spider-Man. I was like, I don't give a fuck if that even ever comes out.
Terribly. And like, how is it going to...
And it might not even ever come out, dude.
Because like there's a whole bunch of areas where it's just like open. And where's Spider-Man gonna like swing?
Well, I mean, honestly, that's when you have to like suspend disbelief for me. Like you gotta make it, I don't know. Avengers is way too ambitious and it is trying very hard to be Destiny along with being like Spider-Man PS4. You're trying to go for those visuals and all, and I'm like, just, no. You gotta find somewhere in the line of like DCUO where you're just like, fuck it, he's shooting a web out somewhere. As long as it feels good, doesn't matter. That's what you should focus on. You know what I mean? You gotta let go of trying to make everything look perfect.
I don't know.
Because you're not going to, clearly.
And I don't know how I feel about the Black Panther thing.
I will say, what the fucking suit, the Black Panther suit, looks dope.
It looks dope. It's like I wonder, it's like morally, like did they have this planned before?
Yes.
With Black Panther?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the whole thing with Avengers.
I was like,
and Black Panther. One of the reasons why they were slow on content for a long time was the rumor was that the Black Panther expansion, War for Wakanda or whatever, that whole thing was supposed to be announced like a couple weeks after Chadwick died. Like that was supposed to be the thing that was coming next. Yeah. And then they were like, oh, can't do that. So yeah, they had already been working on that for a while.
Also, I don't like Santa Hulk.
I haven't seen Santa Hulk.
Yes, you have. He's the face of the War for Wakanda, or I think.
Oh yeah, the guy sitting on the...
Maybe not the war. That's this expansion with Hawkeye.
Yeah,
it's
where
Hulk.
He's like sitting on a throne.
But I know it's not Hulk, but he has a big white beard. That's Santa Hulk. What are you talking about? And I'm like, how can you take this seriously? You put a beard on Hulk.
I love it.
And he's got like a gold chain around his neck too, or something like that. I was like, man, I don't know. I had fun. But and I played with Vizzy.
But see, even that, like I don't know, from the most negative things that I've heard from people who have played it, all have still been like, yeah, but the story was good and I had a good time. Like, that's good enough for me.
Yeah,
I accept that. You know what I mean? As long as you go into it accepting that, I honestly know that it is not going to be Destiny, and I don't fucking want it to be. Stop trying to do that.
Not good. It's not nothing. Yeah. I'm sorry. Nothing. It's just like WoW. Even though Destiny isn't like WoW, but it's like nothing's gonna be a Destiny killer. Nothing ever will be.
Somebody last night in my chat was like, "Oh, you gonna play Ashes of Creation?" And then they're like, "Oh, they're gonna shit all over WoW." And then somebody else was like, "Yeah, lol, the WoW killer." Nothing's gonna do that.
Same with Final Fantasy. Nothing's really ever going to come close because one, they have a history now, and two, it's not like they're only going to get better. There are going to be some dips, and it's just so hard to like. It's like, say if there was a brand new company that made brand new superheroes to go up against DC
Marvel
and
DC. Yeah, good luck.
You're not going to stand a chance because of there's just so much there already.
Yeah.
And it's like, you might watch something, you might read a comic book of these new superheroes from a different publisher, but like you're still going to go back to your main. That's the same with video games. Like, you know what, when Outriders comes out, there's going to be a large population that goes and plays that, but then they're just going to come back to Destiny. Yeah. That's just how it goes. When they're like, oh, Galahorn's back, everybody's going to come back. Like that.
Pog, dude. Let's go. I mean, I'm still planning on coming back for Vault of Glass, so, you know.
Man, this is a good season.
That's what I hear. I hear the story is very good.
They still do like little dialogue every week, and it's like, man, you got like a bunch of weeks left.
That's crazy.
I wonder if it's gonna keep going.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. That's fucking insane. Video games are so fucking cool. That's the takeaway from like the last few weeks where I've been able to play a bit more games. Like, video games are fucking awesome. Like, there's so many cool games to play, and there's so many cool games that are doing cool shit. And like, I don't know. I like games. Played Minecraft this week too, early this week. Minecraft Mondays every Monday on twitch.tv/TeddyChinaris, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Central. Fucking great. Minecraft is
a good game. I like it.
So good.
Very fun. I only like just dabble here and there in Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's one of those games where it's like I really have to sort of, I guess, maybe be in a mood for it.
Oh, yeah. And that Minecraft mood strikes me on occasion. That's the thing.
Yeah. I think my most anticipated game though is Deathloop, because it's from like one of my favorite developers, like, because I loved Dishonored 2, loved Prey, like I just love that gunplay with powers.
Yeah,
I guess that's kind of with Destiny 2 a little bit.
Yeah,
but and then I like what they're doing. They're not just making another game just like Prey or Dishonored where it's guns with powers, but then there's like this whole new loot mechanic where like I think when you die, you just go back to the beginning and you have to like sort of figure your way out. I don't know. I haven't really watched too much because I know that I'm just like in.
Yeah.
But yeah, Deathloop's
it's weird to describe. From what I've heard everyone try to describe that game, they're not saying exactly how the like loop is really gonna work.
Yeah.
Also,
which makes me more excited.
Yeah, Deathloop's gonna be fucking awesome. I mean, honestly, when it comes to most anticipated games, for some weird reason, I just haven't bought and played them. But like, I would love to. It's like fucking Miles, which already exists. But in that same vein, fucking Ratchet and Clank is gonna be awesome.
Still only locked at 30 though. Let's be serious here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Even on PS5?
It's only on PS5.
Yeah. Why? Oh yeah, that's true. Why is it locked at 30?
You got me.
That's weird. Wouldn't have expected that.
Because that was the when they like showed that off.
Fair, I guess. I don't know. When people were like, next gen's happening, they're going to be like, all the games are going to be at 60 frames from now on. I'm like, y'all are in for a rude awakening.
All the games will be 60 frames for me because I play almost everything on PC.
PC, mustard rice. Let's go. God damn it.
Even like Death Stranding. What's the other motorbike one?
Days Gone?
Days Gone. I knew it was a D.
Motorbike one. Fair.
That's coming to PC, and it's like that was so rough to play. I'm sorry, It was so rough to play at 30 when you're on your motorcycle going through trees. It would stutter. It would just not feel good. And it's like I can't wait to play that again on PC. Like I want to play it again, even
Yeah.
though it's really, really long. It's like 2/3 too
Yeah.
long.
I mean,
No,
that's
like,
why
legit.
I was. Yeah,
So
that's what I've
long.
heard. I've heard the main complaint about that game is it just goes on forever.
Yeah.
That's why I bought Nier on PS4 forever ago. It's one of those games that I bought and then never touched. So the fact that it's on Game Pass, I'm like, oh, I'll definitely do that instead. On
And
PC.
I think the PC port is fixed because the
Yeah.
PC port was really bad before.
I am
But it
now
looks great,
realizing
runs great.
I slowly am going to have to stop with that mindset though, because now things are not running super well on my,
Gotta upgrade that
on my
PC.
PC. But that's like hundreds of dollars, and I don't.
You do it a
have
piece at a
that.
time.
No, even buying like one piece, like what I would probably get would be a processor. That would
first.
probably be my. I think that's my most outdated thing in my computer. I think because Bunny gave me a graphics card at one point, so that's like further up. It's like a 1060, and even before that, I had like a 960. So he was like, "Here." So yeah, my processor is the oldest. So that's what I would get first, and that's like fucking expensive. So.
But instead of getting a PS5, you get a processor.
It's true. It's true, but then I couldn't play Ratchet.
But then you would have to also buy a capture card.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, I'm gonna be doing my taxes. Who knows? Maybe I'll get some money back. That's
And
somewhat
you'll get
useful.
millions of dollars.
Millions, dude. Oh
$1
my God.
million
No,
dollars.
dude. Real talk. Taxes. Do you know? Guess how many sources of income I have to report?
7.
6. You were close.
Oh,
Fucking 6,
But
dude.
I went over. Price is Right rules.
Yeah, God. UPS, or let's go from order of 2020 on, working at the Row Restaurant, Nashville, Tennessee, unemployment from coronavirus, which I realized today. I was like, oh shit, I have to do that one too. And then moving, UPS, Walmart, Twitch, Patreon. 6. And this is my first time doing it myself. So I started doing that on TurboTax.
Guess how many I have, though?
1.
1.
Great. And I'm sure your country's not fucking stupid. You know what I mean? I
Why?
remember.
What do you mean, stupid?
Because like I will talk about taxes and Dragons will be like, they don't just send you a thing that tells you how much you owe, or they don't just send you your money. And I'm like, no, we have to do that shit.
No, we still have to do our taxes.
Okay. Well, yeah. Dragons was talking about how in Australia, apparently, they just fucking keep track of that themselves. Because, of course, they know how much money. That's the one thing about
what
the
if you're
fucking IRS
self-employed?
is so weird.
Then what if you're self-employed?
I mean, then you would probably have to do that. But he said, like,
I think
for
all
the
I think
money
everybody
that
has
you
to file their income tax, no matter what, to be because
Maybe.
how
Other
is the
countries
government
do it
supposed?
differently. I do know that. I do know that other countries do taxes differently and better, from what I've seen. Like,
Maybe.
IRS
Well,
is
what's the
fucking
population
weird.
of Australia?
I mean, it's fucking much less. You know what I mean? It's
Even
very,
probably much less than Canada.
Probably. What's the population of Canada?
I think we're in the mid 30 million.
Yeah, 37.59 million.
In
Yeah,
Australia?
Well, no,
Oh, no,
in
in
Canada.
Canada.
Australia was 25 million. So honestly, not as
Not that much.
Yeah, not that much less. But like what's weird about the fucking IRS is they know how much you owe. And if you get it wrong, they come after you. So why not just tell you?
Well, no, because then they're like
other than self-employment stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like if you get it wrong, then that means you could be hiding something.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. Taxes are weird.
Yeah.
But this is gonna
Taxes
be my
are
first
weird.
time
Well,
doing
let's not get me
TurboTax.
started on income tax. I don't think there should be income tax ever at all.
In general.
Just increase sales tax on luxury items, not like food, not
Interesting.
food and stuff that everybody needs to survive, but like your PS5. So okay, your PS5 is now double, but
Damn. That's a
no. But
strat.
that's the thing. You think that that's a lot much more money, but you're not getting income tax. You're not getting tax taken from your paycheck.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
you
honestly,
earn
that's
every month.
probably much less than what the government would get with income tax.
Exactly. Like it's literally they're just taking money away from you, and you still have to pay sales tax.
Yeah.
They're taking a lot of money from you.
I
when
mean,
it's like, shouldn't they take more money from the rich?
Yeah,
because the rich have more to take. So that's why luxury items should have high sales tax.
Yeah, that would never fucking happen in America.
Because then even like the people that work at McDonald's for less than 15 in America, because they won't even up the fucking minimum wage. But like the people that make minimum wage in America right now have income tax taken off of their check.
Yep.
How dumb is that? Like how how is that? That's you're taking from the people who need it the most.
Mm-hmm. I retweeted somebody earlier today that said, it was a couple days ago. Said $15 an hour full time before taxes isn't even $30K a year. They're making you beg for crumbs. Yup.
Yeah. Yep. So if you I know it'll never happen, but like you just cut away income tax, and then you increase sales tax enough so that the government will still have enough money to operate. But you're not then like all of your food, all of anything that's like a necessity items do not have sales tax. But then your luxury items, your iPhones, your computers, everything has a lot higher sales tax. So yes, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but you're also getting more money because they're not taking it away from you. So it's almost going to feel like it evens out, but it benefits the people who need who need that income tax money, like the McDonald's jobs. It benefits them because then they don't have to like worry about income tax being taken off their check.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be the ones that are buying PS5s and stuff like that unless they like save up.
That's fair, but I mean, you could also do that in other ways. It doesn't have to just be with sales tax. You could definitely still do that with income tax of like lowering the rates for people who make this much and raising them for people who make this much.
I just think income tax, you just cut it.
Get rid of it.
It's just so silly. Think about it. Somebody's paying. I'm doing a job for somebody. Yes. They are going to pay me. But no, they're not going to. They're also going to pay the government. But the government didn't do my job. I did the job. But yet they're taking the money away from me and giving it to a third party.
I am much more.
If you boil that down, it just sounds wrong.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I am much more along the lines of like whenever I talk about fucking universal healthcare with my family, and my mom's like, "Oh, you want to be taxed more?" I'm like, "Sure." Yeah. Fuck it. If it means people don't die, sure. So like I don't know. I'm not necessarily at this point. My priorities in politics are elsewhere than taxes. But that's fair. I see what you mean.
I mean, I'm not a politician. I'm not a smart person. I'm just
boiling a small town pizza lawyer.
I'm literally just boiling it down to what makes sense to me. So it's like obviously I'm talking out of my ass. Don't think I'm gonna be like, Tyson Pellegrini for Prime Minister 2020 whenever Justin Trudeau's time is up. Like I'm not. I just think that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And there's probably smarter people out there who could explain to me that wouldn't make sense.
That's fair. Yeah, maybe. It would not be me. But okay, real quick, we should talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier spoilers. But before we do that, I want to show you guys the plants that I got today. I bought some plants. I'm gonna go get them. I haven't like set them up as to like where they're gonna go or anything yet. But I will say, like, one thing that I do is I keep being like, I should get this for my apartment. Like, I want to make my apartment a little more homey, but I just put it off because I'm like, it's gonna be way too expensive. But like, I've been wanting to get some plants to put in here, but like, this fucking aloe plant was $4. And I'm like, why didn't I do this soon? Like the other day I went into the store and I saw like these plates, and a plate itself, this like hard, like I don't know if it's like ceramic or something like that, but they were like solid, cool looking fucking plates, right? And before I had been running off these like plastic square black plates that are garbage. And those plates were $2 each. And I bought 5 of them. I was like, it's the price of dinner. I just bought some plates. I was like, why did I not do this before? But yeah, so I got this aloe plant because everybody recommended me aloe because it's like the easiest to take care of. I got this aloe plant here. And I got this snake plant, which I've also heard is quite easy to take care of. Look at it.
Nice. I've always thought about getting plants, but I have to do a little bit more research because some plants are toxic to, especially to cats. And Franklin likes to chew on anything.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I really want in the future, what I want other than Ion is bunnies. I think bunnies are cool. But yeah, they chew on shit. So that's another thing. They chew on wires.
I just want another cat eventually.
Yeah. There you
Cats are they're just low maintenance.
Yeah.
They're just
I thought about getting a cat.
I like cats, but I think I need a bigger place.
Yeah, one thing I'm learning about Ion after talking with her previous owner is that I'm apparently, because she is trained as an emotional support animal, I'm not like she's supposed to be with the person that she is like an emotional support animal for, like almost all of the time, because that's like her job. She's trained to do that and to take care of you. So if she's not with you, she's like, you're basically like punishing her. And I was like trying to think about getting a crate or something because I like there was one time where I had to go to court for a ticket. Like I just can't physically take her with me everywhere. And I started doing research and stuff. And since it's getting hotter, I was like, well, I can't really leave her in the car when I go places. So I started looking that up and asking her. And I was like, so I don't know what my fucking options are, because she was like, don't leave her at home. That's mean. That's cruel. And she was like, and I was like, but I can't take her in everywhere. She was like, yes, you can. I was like, but I physically can't. Like some places do not allow dogs. I don't understand. She was like, and I started thinking about, I was like, is my only option literally to train her to be like a fucking like full-time therapy dog and like get her a fucking vest so she's officially a service dog? Because apparently she went through most of that training but didn't finish it. So she could be a service dog, but like she's just not fully done with that and not like certified. So I'm like, is that my option? I don't fucking know. So I'm figuring out shit with the dog, but I love her. I'm gonna do whatever I can, make sure she's happy.
Yeah. Dogs are weird, especially like leaving when you like leave the house.
Yeah.
I know my mom's dog is the exact same, especially when she leaves, and like he'll just like, and it's just such a weird thing. I don't. It's weird how like cats and dogs are different like that, because they're both sort of. Well, obviously they're different species, but like they're kind of similar in that they're household pets. And like when you leave, and cats are just like chilling, and then you come home and they're just like, they look up at you and you're like, oh, you're back. Okay, cool.
Nah, like I will say, I talked about this a few weeks ago, but I'm so happy with like the progress we've made. She has very clearly like bonded with me over the last few months and whatnot. I think it's partially the winter and the fact that I've been working from home and all this, but she's a lot more responsive to literally just like the way that you walk with a dog, you're supposed to walk with a like well-trained dog, is they're supposed to be by your side. They're not supposed to go ahead of you. They're supposed to be walking with you. And like to get her to stop, you're supposed to pull back and then she'll like readjust. Which is already very impressive to me. But I can literally just say, hey, and she'll walk back. Like, I can do it with a fucking voice. I'll be like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. We've like bonded. I think, what time is it? It's 5:56. I think I'm going to take her to the dog park today for like a little bit of time. But we should talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier just for a little bit. There's probably not too much to say, but we should say a little bit.
Sam and Bucky.
Sam and Bucky.
That's what I'm going to call it. Sam and Bucky. Sam and Bucky ride again.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But I will say, we're going to go ahead and sign off here. If you want to see each week my initial reactions, you can go to youtube.com/TeddyChinaris for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I am basically every Thursday night, I'm going to stay up until 2 a.m. I'm going to watch it with the chat, and then I'm going to record a quick little 10-minute reactions, throw it up on YouTube if you want to see that. youtube.com/TeddyChinaris. Also, I think this happened last Sunday. I don't know. big old rebrand of the channel. I got a fancy new logo, got new art.
Very tight.
It's all,
very
thank you. I
crispy.
like it. Hell yeah. There's like t-shirts and all of that if you want to check it out. Twitch.tv/Teddy Chinaris, but it's on everything. But that's a new thing. And I did kind of set a streaming schedule to where I'm streaming most nights 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Central. And you can find me Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Teddy Chinaris. What about you, Tyson?
You can find me on Twitter at Tyson Pellegrini, Instagram Pellegrini_17, and Twitch T Pellegrini. Still not really doing much on the socials, on the Twitches.
Living your life.
It's pretty much it. It's work is just so draining.
Yeah.
And it's just that I'm like creative for like technically 8 hours a day, and then it's just like it's very tough to be like wanting to do stuff after. I'll try and find a balance somewhere, but for now you can just follow my tweets, and I tweet about funny things most of the time.
Just catch them in the streets, man. Fucking fight.
Find my tweets, catch me in the streets, but I don't leave my house that much.
Yeah,
I get groceries delivered. I get everything delivered.
Yeah.
I don't need to leave. Great.
Yeah. That's fair. But yeah, that is where you can find us. We're going to talk about Falcon Winter Soldier. Also, there's a bug in my room. I just saw that on camera. I don't know where the fuck he went, but we'll see you next week, Monday.
Behind you. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, shit. Falcon and Winter Soldier, fucking great. That's all. Spoilers. Really enjoyed it.
End of the show now. Yeah, it was perfect. No, it was, and this is why, like, I watched Justice League. It's like, in that small amount of time with Falcon and Winter Soldier, there was just so much more that I cared about. And yes, it's because we've seen these characters before.
Yeah, that's kind of cheating.
So it's a little tough, but they just they flesh out even like Bucky like so much, and like make him like a person, like a just
wild,
like a real person.
Yeah.
No, but like
I know.
It's just even in that small amount of time when he was just in the therapist's office, he just went through so many emotions.
Therapist was such an asshole, by the way. I just want to point
Yeah.
out. Did I?
But
like,
also,
I want to help. I'm like, do you? You don't seem like you want to help.
Well, I could see that Bucky's probably very annoying as a patient.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's still your job, okay? You gotta be.
That's true, but it's probably like court ordered. It's not like he's going there of his own volition.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, I think like she was a little. But I think maybe he needs that.
Yeah, maybe that's literally the approach.
You can't give him the soft touch because he'd
work.
just be like, yeah, he would not respond to that. He responds to like instigating.
Yeah. Yeah. I really enjoyed literally just like, I love TV as a format, and I love the MCU, and literally just having some time to breathe and like just kind of be with them. I'm like, oh, this is great. This is fucking awesome. Yeah. Like that in and of itself gave so much like layers to them as characters. And also the fact that like Spider-Man kind of was the beginning of like a continuation from Endgame, but even that was a very basic, like, this is kind of where the world's at, and it's still a Spider-Man movie. Like, we are moving forward in the MCU now, which is very cool.
Like, they really like mention a lot of times about like the blip and how it affected people and stuff like that. With Spider-Man, it was like, hey, everybody's back, let's go to Europe.
And it was kind of like a joke at the beginning, too. Like, oh, remember when the Avengers did that? Like, you know, it's a different kind of tone. Whereas this is very much like a Captain America. This is like a standard MCU kind of tone. Yeah. I'm so in. I'm very ready.
My first question is Steve dead?
Not technically. I don't think so.
Are you sure? Like, I wonder if maybe he died in the time between Endgame and this.
Maybe. I feel like,
because I don't know, like Sam just feels like it's like heavier than it usually is, and I'm like, I wonder if he did die because he was old.
That's fair. He was hella old. No, I don't think so. I think it's just the fact. I mean, he could be, but I don't know. Yeah. It's just very. Sam misses him because he was like his friend one moment and then basically gone. I'm sure he's probably still alive. Maybe Sam's talking to him, but I think for all intensive purposes, or however you fucking say that, he's gone. You know what I mean?
There was a tweet from, or I saw a tweet from Kevin, not from Kevin Feige, but saying Kevin Feige said that Chris Evans would not portray Captain America like ever again.
Yeah. So. I mean, which honestly is a little surprising. I would think, I get that was a very good send-off for Captain America. It really was. And you don't need to touch that again. If you don't, that's totally okay. But like, you could totally still do, well, I guess. I was going to say you could totally still do a final, like he is dying, passing on the torch. But, like, you don't need to. That's what that was. That was him passing the torch on. Like, you let him live out his life as a fucking geriatric old man.
It was a nice moment. Like, Bucky was there. And, like,
let
Bucky
him go
knew,
have Alzheimer's.
and, like, yeah. And it's like he's passing the torch of, like, friendship as well. Because it's like Bucky was his best friend.
Yeah.
And so he's leaving both of them. And he's leaving Sam the shield, and he's leaving Bucky with Sam. It was a perfect moment that
I will say really like Bucky's. Top. Yeah, that's true. I will say I really like Bucky's whole storyline of making amends, and it's very clear that's why he was being friends with that dude. But also, at first, I didn't really get that was why. And in general, really like the fact that Bucky was like getting along so well with like a 90-year-old man because he's fucking 106 or whatever the hell. Yeah. Like it makes sense that he would be like buddies just totally normally with a super old dude, you know?
I wonder though, like when did he get unfrozen? Or he wasn't frozen. What happened? I can't remember.
I thought about that too. I was like, I get how Steve is that old, but how was Bucky again? I gotta.
And also, Steve got like super serum or some shit like that with the Tesseract.
Winter Soldier has, Bucky has super serum too. Yeah, Bucky
I thought it was just the arm.
Which is honestly why when at the end of Endgame, or even leading up to Endgame, everybody was like, is Bucky or Falcon gonna get the shield? Like, which one of them is going to continue on and be Captain America? And I was like, I figured it would be Bucky because he has the fucking super serum. But I guess not. You know,
I think in the comics, both of them have had the shield.
Yeah, that was the thing too. It kind of felt like it could be.
I really wish that they didn't show some of the trailer. Like, this is when trailer starts to spoil, I guess, the show a little bit.
Like what? Which bit?
Well, because like when you see them there's a part in the trailer where he's throwing the shield at a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
so that's fair. It's like he's gonna get it back, I guess.
Yeah, and it's like I still would have liked to. Yeah, but like I still would have liked to kind of wonder. Like it still would have been cool to like see that shitty Captain America at the end, and then you see him with the shield, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" But then in that moment, I see that shitty Captain America with the shield, and I'm like, "Oh well, I know that Sam's gonna get it back because I saw that in the trailer." Yeah, it loses its value just a little bit.
Yeah. I will say I like that whole story beat of the fucking shitty Captain America. I thought that was cool. I think that's there are a couple different ways you could do that would still be cool. And I also liked the way that it was shot of Sam like finding out. Yeah. Like he fucking heartbroken. And like for good reason, you know what I mean? Like I thought that was really cool. Like it is still a symbol, but like to him, that was like the biggest fucking disrespect you could have for Captain America.
It's also very weird that how it happened, though. Like in a matter of 2 days,
they had a ceremony.
Yeah, but then why have that ceremony? Why have the ceremony? Wouldn't they like tell Sam?
No,
because
they know Sam would fucking not give it up. Then, you know what I mean? They had Sam give it up,
though, or is it America's? It's actually technically it's Stark's. Stark Tech.
I mean, at this point, it's just whoever holds it. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, they wouldn't have him. He wouldn't have given it up if he knew they were going to give it to somebody else.
Yeah. Did
I really did
Roddy? Do you think Roddy knew? which is
Rhodey?
also Roddy.
Yeah.
Roddy? I don't know how to say his name. Don
Rhodes.
Cheadle.
I like that he was there too. I thought that was
I
awesome.
totally did not. I don't think that was mentioned
No.
before the show, and so seeing him there, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Fuck yeah!
It was so cool.
One thing which is very subtle in Infinity War, but like Sam and Rhodey have like a little bit of a friendship, which I think makes a ton of sense because they're kind of like similar. Of like we're the buds to the main superhero. We both fly. You know what I mean? They're both like ex-military, like literally or current military too. Like they're very similar characters, all things considered. So I liked that they had like kind of a friendship in Infinity War. Like at the end,
hopefully
Rhodey goes out and is like, "Sam, where you at?" Like that bit always got me. And so at the beginning of this, I thought that was really cool that they like continued that a little bit. I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah."
I'm like, obviously it was very big shoes to fill with WandaVision just a couple of weeks ago. I think they did great. And they really set a tone, pretty much saying like, "Hey, this isn't WandaVision." So like, you can still expect twists and turns, but nothing is crazy and out there as WandaVision. They set the tone of like how the show is going to be very, very well. It really has Winter Soldier vibes.
Yep.
Like it is just like it's
apparently
grounded.
There's music
it's very
from
grounded.
Winter Soldier.
Say that again.
Apparently there's music from Winter Soldier in
Oh,
it.
is there?
Like I think it's the same composer. That's what I heard.
Nice.
Which would be
that first scene, like that action scene was great.
Yeah, it was
with
really
the like flying through the canyons and just flying all of that. It was so cool. I loved seeing his shield do new things now.
Yep.
And
Different
Red Wing
visuals
is really cool.
too.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I'm like already a little sad because we only have 5 episodes left.
Yeah.
It's
only
like
6.
And it's also going to be kind of weird. Like how are they going to tell a story in 6 whole episodes? It's a big feat to do that, to tell a complete story in 6 episodes.
Well, yeah, I guess. I'm trying to think of other shows that were that small. Like Queen's Gambit was like, how many? 13? Something like that? Not a ton.
I think it was like, it was around like 8 to, I thought it was like 8
well,
or
to
10.
be fair, Daredevil and all like the Netflix MCU shows, everyone, they were usually like 8, I think. And everyone was always like, "What? These could be 2 episodes shorter." So, might be the perfect length.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I like that they're setting up some stuff with the masked man, whoever that dude was.
Yeah.
He's probably, and we still haven't seen.
Oh,
is it Sharon?
Sharon Carter. Slight spoilers for the comics. Do you want to know something that maybe you might not know? You probably already know this. The guy who Falcon was like talking to, who's like his guy in the chair. You know what I mean? That guy who then went to he was at the beginning.
Like the guy who got beat up, who got like curb stomped?
Yeah, fucking just like picked up and yeeted back down on the ground.
I was like, don't kill this guy. I was like, I already like this kid. He's a go-getter.
I like the Steve. Is he on the moon? Like I gotta go do moon stuff. I thought that was good. And that guy apparently in the comics becomes Falcon. Yeah. I'm like, oh, they could absolutely be setting that up right now.
But see, when Falcon had the shield in the comics, I thought he was still Falcon.
Yeah, I mean, he still had wings.
Captain Falcon.
He still had the wings, but you gave another guy wings. You know what I mean? To be Falcon. But I will say one other thing I want to point out about the episode that I really liked that I just thought was very funny. There was one bit that was a shot of Bucky sitting there waiting on the girl, and he was sitting there like eating or drinking something, and there's a little cat statue doing this with the paw, and he was just like, and then it kept going. I don't know why that was so funny.
He's got
the way
that dry humor where it's just so. He's like Drax.
Yeah.
Him and Drax have the same kind of like comedic relief.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, it's like they're just so over it, but it's so funny because they're just so over it. They don't say like the funny
really
lines.
That bit was great.
But like Drax does the same kind of thing where it's just like a line told so dry that if it was by anybody else, it wouldn't be funny. but because it's coming from like these two characters who can say it so,
I mean,
so like
Drax in
awkwardly.
Infinity War had a lot of straight comedy. I mean, the whole like, I've mastered the art of standing so still that it's inconceivable to the human eye.
But he still says it like so. I don't know. It's just the way he says it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like in the first Guardians when he's like, something would never go over my head.
Yeah,
I'm too
my
quick.
reflexes are too fast.
My reflexes are too fast. Yeah, I would catch it. It's like anybody would say that, and it would sound like a joke, but to him, it doesn't sound like a joke, and so that's what makes it a joke.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Drax is great. I'm trying to think of one other thing I wanted to point out. Just in general, I really like the whole Bucky like in therapy of like like when she's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, he doesn't fucking know. Like, why would he know? He's literally just been, like he said, going from fight to fight for 90 years. Like, he started off fighting for the good guys, then the bad guys, and then back to the good guys. And, like, he just didn't have a fucking moment to think, you know?
And a big chunk of that time, he was brainwashed.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is the first time in his life where nothing is going on and he's himself.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I think that's really awesome.
When you think about that, yeah, like what would you even want?
We don't know Bucky as a character, honestly. Like, we don't know fully who he is because he doesn't fucking know. And I think that's gonna make for like a really good show.
And then, there was when they were playing Battleship, and then he said something about, he lost his mom and dad. Oh, he had his sister.
Oh yeah.
And I wonder,
that was interesting.
Yeah, like, she's probably really old.
Oh, hella dead. Hella dead. Just for years. Died of old age, too.
Yeah. Like, I wonder, it's a very weird, I guess she asked him, but like,
yeah.
I was just wondering if there would be something with that.
I like that whole scene, too. And I liked how the old guy asked her out for him. Yeah. And he's like, there's a dance to these things, all right? You can't just do that.
He's cute. What? Because like the old guy said something about like Pinochle or something, and then Bucky's like, well, "What's wrong with Pinochle?" Because they're both like the same age.
Yeah. I loved it. I loved it.
I can't wait until and then the stuff with Sam is just like heartbreaking as well, where it's like, he's trying to help his sister because she wasn't blipped, I don't think.
No.
Because during that 5 years, and then it's like, oh, you don't have income for 5 years. It's like, well, no shit, nobody did because.
Yeah,
the world was.
He was like, it's hard to have income if you're gone.
How can a bank like do that? And it's like it's just so frustrating, and it makes you think a little bit like about the groundedness of this, where it's like, oh yeah, how do the heroes get paid? And it's like, oh well, you don't really get paid. It's just, people are generous and
that was such a bummer because I always wonder that. Those are the kind of little things that I wonder, and I was like, oh cool, they're gonna touch on it, and they just didn't. I was like, that's not an answer.
I just think that like he was kind of alluding to what the bank dude should be doing, where it's like, hey, yeah, I saved the world.
Come on.
And it's like, you can give me a break here, and I bet that's what happens with like certain things. And then you have Stark, who just makes billions of dollars, who probably owns a lot of these companies and helps out the heroes that have saved the world. That's how I think it works. But yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, I was just hoping they would touch on it a little bit more of like actually what they did, but it's okay. It's just a minor thing, but I quite liked the episode. It was great. Quite enjoyed it.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see Sharon. Because I think she was great in Winter Soldier and Civil War.
Yeah.
We never really got to see enough of her. And she's in like the comics quite a bit. So I think that hopefully she'll get more of a spotlight.
I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited. And now I'm going to go watch a 4-hour Justice League movie. I'll let you know.
Don't watch it all in one sitting. You won't make it.
No, I won't make it. I'll probably do half and half, maybe. I don't know.
The back half is better than the front half.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna. I don't know. I got my hopes up for a second, being like, "Am I gonna like it?"
It's like titled parts, and I was like, "I don't like this."
Dude, I still can't get over this film was shot in 4:3 to preserve Zack Snyder's creative vision. Fuck off.
It's so it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't look good to me. I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah. But that's the show, everybody. I'm gonna go walk my dog. Put these plants up because I still have them sitting right here.
Play some video games.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna finish this coffee. All right. Well, we will see you guys next Monday. You know, like, subscribe, tell your friends. You know,
punch the button in the face, right in the nose.
Fucking
so it feels it.
Damn. Fucking break your monitors.
Right, no, because then they can't watch.
No, you got phones. That's fine. You
Nobody watches shit on
Everybody
their
has
phones.
a phone, don't you?
Boo.
Glad you got that. All right. Well, see you next week. Bye.
Peace.